Hey friends, it's been a while. 2024 has been quite hectic with the new commission rules that came out this past summer, but now it's that time again. The California Association of Realtors Forms Library is set to be updated or may have already been updated today, December 17th, 2024, with several new and revised standard forms. Nothing majorly significant, but several changes you'll need to know. I'll be presenting a seminar after the holidays on what you need to know on these new and revised car forms. In the meantime, I'm going to show you three changes you will immediately notice on a couple of forms so that you know how to handle these changes. First, you no longer need the SPBB form along with the buyer's offer to request seller to pay buyer's broker compensation. All you need to do is check the box in paragraph 3G3 of the RPA and fill in the amount requested. Secondly, there is no longer a provision for the seller to request proof of buyer representation agreement. In other words, you no longer need to provide a copy of the BRBC at the time of the offer. If you look at the statement right below the checkbox, buyer, by checking the box, affirmatively represents that they have a valid written agreement with the broker and that the compensation amount requested here on the RPA does not exceed the amount of compensation agreed on their buyer representation agreement. Number two, you're going to see an extra set of signature lines on counteroffers for late acceptance. Now, I personally believe this is going to confuse some realtors, so let me just put it in simple terms. Once the buyer or seller signs the final acceptance as usual, there is no need for anyone to sign the new late acceptance section, which in this example would be paragraph number 6. The only time a buyer or seller would need to sign the late acceptance section is if a party accepts the counteroffer after it has expired. Otherwise, acceptance will not be binding. As many of you may be aware, by default, counteroffers expire after 3 calendar days unless the expiration date has been modified at the time of the counteroffer. Now, this change has been made across the board on all counteroffers, including seller counteroffer, seller multiple counteroffer, and the buyer counteroffer. And number three, seller's authorization to allow you to advertise that the seller is willing to consider offers with concessions has been moved from the MLS addendum to the first page of the listing agreement. Okay, so there's several other changes, so be on the lookout for when I announce the date and time of my next webinar where I'll go over the rest of the changes you need to know. And I'll also be presenting live in person in Huntington Beach in January, so be on the lookout for that as well. If you have any questions on how to properly fill out your next contract, don't hesitate to contact me directly. All right, I'll see you in January.